Welcome back. It's the Coax Report, and we're going to take a quick flick through the pages of Batman Dark Patterns #1. So this is a new, I think it's a maxi series, maybe 12 issues. I think it breaks down into 4 separate stories over the entire run. It's by Dan Watters and current Absolute Wonder Woman artist Hayden Sherman, who art I really enjoy. So that, coupled with another Batman book, swayed me in, and I thought I'd take a look. So let's jump straight into it. What do we got? So it sets 3 years after Batman has become essentially Batman, and he's still a bit green round the gills. He's still discovering himself, and Gotham is in a bit of state of turmoil. It's becoming a sort of haven for crime and terrible things, and Batman's sort of reasoning with himself about all the things he has to do and how he can combat it. So he goes through a few little stories about that. But either way, he is called via the bat signal, the traditional bat signal, to a crime scene by Lieutenant Gordon. He's not the commissioner just yet. This is still early on in Batman's history. And he finds this terrible murder scene with this guy stuck with hundreds of pins. It's quite scary. He's also had his tongue and his teeth removed by the murderer, so he can't scream. And we're introduced to this guy here, this Dr. Sarika, who's a forensic pathologist. Now, he seems a bit creepy and a bit sort of too excited about the murders. I think he gets a kick from it. I don't know what his perversion is, but he's definitely enjoying the work of the killer. Now, I don't trust this guy. Batman doesn't either. And the dialogue throughout this book, especially here, it's a bit shaky. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, sort of, I don't know, it feels like I'm watching a Batman from the 60s show. But anyway, I digress. So there have been another of other murders, and Batman starts to investigate. Gordon's sort of at his wit's end, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And off he goes. Off he goes into the night. So what he decides to do is, through one of the connections of the other murdered victims, I think he's a lawyer. So he goes to this lawyer's office because the firm won't give the police any information that they need about it. So Batman says, right, I'm going to go get it myself. So he breaks in, of course, like the Batman. And he does something really silly here, which I don't think is a really good part of the story, because, you know, Batman's Batman. He's got all this tech available to him. He's been doing this 3 years. He can break into a skyscraper, right? Why would he smash a filing cabinet on the floor to break the lock? I mean, he could just break the lock or pick the lock or do something Batman, you know? Especially when he's trying to do it all stealthily and not get caught. It feels like it's just a little plot thing to suddenly have a big fight with the security guards. It's actually quite poorly done, really. Batman wouldn't do that. They could have found a different way for him to alert the guards. I don't know. Anyway, this whole scene here with him fighting these goons, it's just to show how brutal he is. And the art's really nice, and the fight is really fluid and looks really cool. But, you know, he becomes overwhelmed. He gets clipped by one of the bullets, and he has to get out of there in true Batman style. So he retires to the Batcave, where we've got Alfred there telling him how much of a silly boy he is. And he's trying to patch himself up. So Alfred helps him in the end, because this is where we're showing like Bruce being quite stubborn and single-minded, and he's just all about the mission. And we've got this really nice Batcave here. Honestly, the art by Hayden here, it is lovely. I really, really like it. It does have that sort of nostalgic feel, that reminiscence of Batman Year One, which I think what they're trying to do here. Anyway, he's a Batman, so he discovers that all the victims, they're being killed in alphabetical order, and they're all actually connected to each other. They've all been represented by this lawyer that was murdered. So he goes to stake out the next potential victim's apartment, Mr. Gallo. And sure enough, the big bad has arrived. He's got a creepy voice. So Batman goes in to kick some ass, and he finds this quite cool new villain, actually. So he's got all these nails and pins all stuck in his body, all in very specific places where Batman will kill him if he hits him there, because they're close to an artery, or they're close to a nerve, or they're somewhere that will cause more damage than Batman wants to do. So Batman's taking a beating here, and the resident, the victim that's about to be murdered, he blasts off a shotgun and scares off this potential killer. Batman's not happy about that, of course, because now he can't ask any questions. And then we get back to the mansion, Old Wayne Manor, where through one of his father's books he remembers seeing this, and it's actually the Wound Man, it's called. And all these punctures, let's call them. They were thought back in the olden days to actually heal certain ailments, and this is what this guy's done on like next level. So that's it. It's not a bad book. Like, dialogue's a bit shaky. It's a bit. I don't want to say juvenile, but it doesn't feel like a mature dark book. The art is fantastic. It's gritty. It's got a new villain here, which I think is pretty cool. He looks pretty cool. All in all, it's not a bad book. I really liked it. I'm looking forward to the next issue. It's got that slight horror feel to it. Yeah, I'll pick it up for you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Let me know your thoughts. Those are mine, and please subscribe. We'll see you in the next review.